Independence Day, July 4th, for the United States. Okay, here's my bathroom. I just did some laundry, and it's hanging up. Here's my painting of the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I have seen it, but that's not to scale, and it's not 100%, but it's just a representation. Wee in my sewer. And I found the gold Eiffel Tower in a thrift store for $3. I had one that was a puzzle made out of cardboard, but this is a bathroom, and cardboard starts bending when it gets humid. Hey, it almost looks like love. L-O-V-E. Awesome. That's a logo of Psych to Go, P-S-Y-C-H, like psychology. It's a YouTube channel, and they talk about different things, and psychological things, and feelings and emotions and stuff. It's a really good channel. I like the picture, so I painted it. I'm wearing my Resistor shirt. Resistor 47. I painted that. Spencer painted that. Believe it or not, he painted it. It was like sideways. And when he was finished, I thought, oh, I love it. I can see a face. So he put his thumbprint right there. He did that 2 years ago when he was a little over 1.5. That kid's amazing. There's a little clay guy I made in 7th grade, and a sheep. I made 2 or 3 more sheep, like it was a whole thing, and the teacher said it wasn't mine and I didn't do it, but it has my name on the bottom. So she let me keep one of the sheep, and I cried and fussed until she let me keep the man. Dumb. Ta-da! I will be sitting pretty. It's a plastic thingy that hooks onto the toilet. And when you hook it onto the toilet, the back of the toilet is up. And it just didn't look too good, and doesn't feel too good on your back. So I took a padded bathroom carpet thing and a t-shirt. That's what the blue part is. The leftover blue part I put on the tank. I made like a little seat cushion, so when you sit there, it doesn't hurt your back. Pretty neato torpedo. Kitty cat's potty box. And his used stuff goes in here. There's nothing in there right now. I just cleaned it. He's been such a good boy. And what do we have out here? Let's find out. A mess, as usual. He's he's in here, sleeping on there, hiding in his little hidey hole. I'm in the process of going through the script and rewriting all the notes so that I can read them, and then memorizing lines. This is a disaster zone. See, I don't have any place to put that. They were looking at it and hanging on to it for a while, but then Brian says, well, we don't have any place to put this. Well, neither do I, Brian. What a mess. What a mess. My usual spot is this chair. Oh my gosh. This is made for a little kid's head, not for a boulder. Well, let's see if I can put this on. It has a little button that they can flash, but I'm not going to deal with that now. I think I'll give it to him later when it's toward the afternoon, because if there's any fireworks, which I hope there aren't, but if there are, then he can do his part by shining. Oh, did you see anybody in the news that there's a building over in Paris? I think it's Paris, France. The Statue of Liberty is painted on the side of a building, and she's got her eyes covered, and she's shuddering like, oh my God, oh my God. It opened up the day before the 4th, which is today's 4th, so it was the 3rd of July. How appropriate, how wonderful. I did not have rehearsals last night, which was really nice because I could try to get some stuff done. I just made, in my little coffee mocha, that's that thing that the Italians make their coffee in. That's why the fan's on in the little hot plate. That's what that noise is. It's been pretty quiet over there. I heard some footsteps earlier, but they're pretty quiet today. Brian works today because of all the snafu in their return home from Canada. He had to he traded with somebody that gladly wanted off today, so he's working. And I used to work in a hospital coding medical records into a computer. First of all, I did a little of everything. Then they had me do emergency room charts and outpatient charts. And then they kept organizing and reorganizing how they did stuff. Then it was down to ancillary reports, x-rays and physical therapy and things like that. And after I left to live abroad and come back, that job was taken over by a computer program. So I wasn't even needed. But I do remember, and coding emergency room charts I liked that. Because every once in a while you'd have the oddest stuff come in. Something I'll never forget it. And it's not gross, but this is one of those old houses from the turn of the last century, built in like 1899 or something. It's a 2 or 3 story house. The kind with the old one pane windows. And in the winter time, there's little hooks on the window frame on the outside of the house. In the winter time, you'd get up on a ladder and you'd put another glass pane window so that it would be double paned and there'd be like a little bit of an air gap in between the two windows. And in the spring, you take those down and hang up screens. That way, when you open your window, bugs wouldn't get in. So, the house I grew up in was not that old, and it was just a 1-story house, but we used to do that too. In the winter, you'd hang the glass window on the outside, and in the spring, you'd hang the full-length screen window on the outside. Well, this guy was up on a ladder. He was doing the 2nd-story windows. He lost his footing, and he fell off the ladder. But he had just started, so down below he had a whole pile of stacked on top of each other glass windows. And he fell off the ladder and landed right on top of those windows. So when he landed, it went crunch, 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 crunch. He had a lot of bruises and a few scrapes, but nothing broken. Amazing. That, I will never forget that. And sometimes we run across some weird people's names. And I can't tell you this name because it's a real person's name, but it was an honest sounding name, and I still remember it to this day. Even my son, even Scott remembers the name. It just such an odd name. Sometimes there'll be businesses or guys that own business. Like out here, there's SPREEN. It's a car dealership. The guy's name is SPREEN. And under the license plate holders on some cars, it'll say SPREEN. And it sounds funny to me. SPREEN. Yeah. Are we doing anything? Well, Brian's working. Ashley was asking Brian all about barbecuing on the grill because he's the one that ends up doing it. I don't think we're going to have anybody over I don't think we're even going to do it up fancy or anything. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I haven't been told, and usually I'm not told until, hey, we're having food, come on over. It's kind of nice to know ahead of time so that I'm presentable. Like Brian brought something over last week, and he goes, knock, knock, knock. Are you presentable? And I said, oh, he goes, are you decent? And I said, rarely. But come on in, I'm dressed. uh, he's off Sunday. We may have sister and brother over for Sunday. I don't know. But in any case, I bought an already made apple pie. They say there's nothing like mom hot dogs and apple pie. Represent the country as good old wholesome living mom hot dogs and apple pie. Every year, and it's been Joey Chestnut. It's been the winner for the last I don't know how many years. They had Nathan's is a hot dog vendor in New York City. I think it's New York City. And every year they have a hot dog eating contest. Within so many minutes, how many hot dogs can you eat? And Nathan is Joey Chestnut's won many, many times. It's really bizarre. They have a glass of water. He dips the hot dog and bun in the water, and then he crams it in his mouth. And he's gulping and eating and dunking and everything. And oh my gosh. It's really something to see. And if you're in Hannibal or near Hannibal, Missouri, they have Tom Sawyer Days, and they have the whitewashing of the fence outside Becky Thatcher's house. Hannibal's a really nice little town. If you are on a vacation or you're passing through that direction that way, stop in Hannibal. The people are very nice. It's a neat, quaint little town. Mark Clemens, the writer known as, Samuel Clemens, the writer known as Mark Twain, lived there. So and they have tourist attractions like Becky Thatcher's house, Tom Sawyer's house. You can go to the Getting Lost in the Cave with Tom Sawyer thing. It's really a nice town, and the people are very friendly. The coffee shop there is wonderful. And I've strayed, haven't I? Yes, I have. My mom she could come up with some zingers sometimes. And I wish she were more like that in my life, but she wasn't. But I said, well, my mind's wandering. And she said, well, don't let it wander too far. Yeah. I'm going to eat breakfast. Some of that too dried up, crunchy coffee cake dipped in coffee. Maybe some eggs. And work on this stuff. And I'll probably fall asleep in the chair. But anyone shooting fireworks off or doing anything like that, be careful. Things can go wrong so quickly, and especially if there's alcohol involved, things can go badly wrong. Badly wrong? Well, if a big, beautiful, bigly, if that can be, then a badly wrong can be. I can't even think of that guy. It just turns my stomach. It makes me want to tear my skin off and turn myself inside out, and scrape my insides out. I can't stand him. I cannot stand him. And all the people that are in love with him, and the majority of those people that are such Trumpsters, they think there's something in it for them, or they wouldn't be doing it. Because there are some that are starting to question, what? What'd he say? What are we supposed to do? See, when you get infatuated with someone or something, your reasonable mind closes up and goes to, closes shop. Your common sense goes away. And there's a lot of people that like being like everyone else. They like the crowd. They like being like the next guy. They all want to dress alike. They all want to think alike. It's a lot easier to live when you don't have to make any decisions and you just blindly follow. I'm not like that, obviously. And I don't care, obviously. This area around here is usually so dry that even if someone threw out a cigarette butt, it could set a forest on fire around here. And it's for real. And it's very sad. And I was always fearful of that stuff, even when I lived back in Missouri, where I hardly had anything to worry about, unless people were shooting off giant things with embers that would fall on your house. But I don't like fireworks. Can't they do a laser light show? It's just as spectacular, and with the surround sound systems we have these days, it would be just as cool. You wouldn't have to worry about stuff falling on you. Phobia time. I want to say to everyone out there, be careful. If you're going to drink responsibly, as they say. Now, I don't have to tell Europeans that. They don't have the mindset like an American, hey, booze, let's get blotto. They're not like that. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not as taboo to drink a little bit. But you still have to be very careful because you can hurt yourself too. If you don't have to, don't do fireworks. It makes the air stinky and it can set fires. You could get hurt. You can get your fingers blown off. You can get one of those things that shoots up and spins around stuck in your hair. That happened to me. Someone else set it off, though. Yeah. Not cool. Not cool. For all the people in the United States, stay strong. Resist if you can. Have some common sense. If you're trying to fit in just to be not persecuted, be careful. Remember your core values. I love you. I'm glad you're there. Take care of yourself so we can all go upward and onward.